Hello gunners, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 players which have drastically improved under Mikel Arteta. I think we often ignore how good of a job Mikel Arteta has done with individual players. So I think a video is needed to just talk about those players who have massively improved since joining the club or being at the club under Mikel Arteta's management. But before I begin, if you're new here, please smash the subscribe button, smash the like button and turn on notifications. It will really help the channel out. So without further ado, let's begin. And number 5 is Gabriel Magalhaes, signed for 27 million from Lille back in the summer of 2020. Gabriel has been a really good addition to our squad. He originally signed and he started off pretty well. He won most of the Player of the Month awards for the club and was one of the few bright spots in a very dodgy Arsenal team. But I think the way Mikel Arteta has used him recently has really maximised his base qualities. He's using Gabriel more of an outside centre-back to deal with balls in the channel. And we know how strong Gabriel is. We know how powerful he is. He's able to deal with balls through the channel really well. And this is what I love about Mikel Arteta. He tries to make his system based around the qualities of his players. So Gabriel won't be faced that many times with balls through the centre because Mikel Arteta places him on the outside. You've then got William Saliba next to him. And it just makes a really good solid partnership. And Gabriel is more than value for money and is proving to be one of the best defenders in the Premier League, especially this season, and probably our best player this season. There's really good arguments to be had whether Gabriel deserves to be our player of the season. And if you were to say him, I don't think many people would disagree with you. But just off the basis of being quite cheap compared to the other players in the list, and by the fact that he started so well at Arsenal, is the reason why he's in 5th place. Otherwise, he could have been much higher. Anyway, up to 4th place now, we've got Ben White, and he's really improved under Mikel Arteta. After being signed for a hefty 50 million fee, there was a lot of people questioning him. There was so much abuse towards him. If you remember the Amazon documentary, he talks about even being taunted by kids for the 50 million price tag. But I don't think I even remember the last time anybody mentioned his price. And that just goes to show how much he has improved under Mikel Arteta. Originally starting at centre-back, he looked a bit shaky, struggled with the more physical players like Ivan Toney. But oh boy, has he improved in that right-back position. One of the first names on the team sheet, really consistent, making a beautiful triangle with him, Saka and Odegaard. And it's just really nice to watch. And we've just got to say, Mikel Arteta has worked a miracle with him. And he's looking like a potential player of the season candidate, or team of the season, should I say. He's got that attacking ability, that defensive ability. He's really improved in terms of his defending out wide. Last season, it looked as though he was struggling with playing right back and having to defend. But this season, I feel so secure with his defensive play at right back. And he started adding a couple of goals as well this season, which is always nice to see. He's one of my favourite players when I see him score a goal. It's probably one of the most exciting things for me. But yeah, Ben White, definitely one of the players that has heavily improved under Mikel Arteta. And I just can't wait for how Mikel Arteta is going to use his development and even take him to that next level. Now on to the next, and in 3rd place, it's none other than Bukayo Saka. I mean, sometimes I just run out of words to describe how good Bukayo Saka is. And just considering he started at left back, it's just incredible the development he's had under Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta has changed his life. To even recognise that Bukayo Saka can be utilised higher up the pitch is just genius in itself. And it's just a miracle that Mikel Arteta managed to find Bukayo Saka a really good position out wide. And Bukayo's numbers on its own are really good. He's set to now have consecutive double seasons, which is 10 goals and 10 assists. 2 already. Mohamed Salah became the first player to hit 5 10-10 goals and assists seasons in the Premier League. And I'm not going to lie, I think Bukayo Saka will smash that record out the water if he stays at Arsenal for as long as we want him to. But you just love Bukayo Saka. He's the one who started the rebuild. The trust Mikel Arteta had in him is just incredible. He's a player who's been supported by Arteta no matter what. And he's just a beast. Nobody wants to go up one-on-one with Bukayo Saka. His finishing is improving every single season. His decision-making is top-notch. Rarely will you see Bukayo Saka make a wrong decision in the attacking phase. He knows how to slow the game down, how to quicken it up. It's just that intelligence which has been used by Mikel Arteta. It's not that Bukayo Saka didn't have any of that. It's just the way Mikel Arteta has managed to use that intelligence to get him to this world-class level. And the sky is quite literally the limit for this guy. He is definitely a Player of the Year contender. And if we win this league, he will definitely be up there as Arsenal's Player of the Season too. So this is number 3 on the list, Bukayo Saka, and thoroughly deserved. He could have even been higher. It may not come as a surprise, but in second place is Kai Havertz. Maybe you think he should have been higher, but I'm just basing this off of just only one season under Arteta. But I think this season he has come on leaps and bounds. If you remember the media outrage at Arsenal signing Kai Havertz, it was ridiculous. There were agents doing surveys saying Kai Havertz to Arsenal was the worst deal of the summer. And that is just ridiculous. So if you put it into perspective, you're essentially saying Mikel Arteta is working with a complete flop of a player who has absolutely no chance of making it at the club. But Mikel Arteta has just found a perfect position for him. And he just looks like he's enjoying his football. The quality with Havertz was always there. You just knew he needed to just go somewhere to explode. And Mikel Arteta took that opportunity and has now taken his development to the next level. He's linking up the play really nicely. His finishing is slowly improving week in, week out. And his decision making is becoming on a top level. And Arsenal fans, we ourselves are shocked by how good Kai Havertz is. He's contributed so much in the run-in. One of the most important ways to look at how well a player is how well they do in the run-in or when the going is tough. And Kai Havertz has stepped up in the derbies, in games against Brentford. Kai Havertz is there delivering. And it all comes down to Mikel Arteta just finding the right environment, finding the right position for Kai Havertz to operate in. And I just think it's just a miracle what Arteta has done. And there's still so much Kai Havertz can get better at. He's only 24. I think people forget he's so young. But I'm just so excited to see where Mikel Arteta takes Kai Havertz in his development next. Because it's just proving we've got a top player in him. He is well worthy of that number 2 spot. And in first place is Mr. Captain Fantastic Martin Odegaard. I think is most definitely the most improved player under Mikel Arteta. And I know it means a couple of our players miss out, like Martinelli, Saliba. You've got so many different players who could have been on this list. But before I begin and talk about Odegaard, if you think there's a player I have missed and you're thinking, why is this player not in the list? Please put it in the comments down below. I'll have a read of it and see if you're right. But Martin Odegaard, he was lost before coming to Arsenal. Hadn't really found a home. You just could tell he had the ability, but nobody seemed to know how to use it. Real Madrid didn't know how to use it. He'd go out on loan, show glimpses of quality, but there was never really a bit of consistency about him. But every single season, Martin Odegaard is improving. It kind of started off with, has he got the facilities to be a main creator for us? Then he produced a beautiful season last year. Then it was, does he really turn up when it matters most? And then this season, he's probably one of our most influential players in the run-in. And it all comes down to Mikel Arteta finding the right conditions for Martin Odegaard, putting him next to Saka with Ben White there. It is one of the best triangles that Mikel Arteta has made. And it's just interesting how both Saka and Ben White are in this list with Martin Odegaard, because it just shows how well Mikel Arteta has developed the 3 of them in this system that we currently play. And Martin Odegaard, the sky is the limit for him. He's still young, 24, 25. He's still got a lot to learn, and I can just see him improving season on season on season. And we're just blessed that we have Mikel Arteta who knows how to utilize him, because when he's on the ball, it's just an absolute joke seeing him just glide across the pitch and create. So yes, Martin Odegaard definitely number 1 on the list for players that Mikel Arteta has transformed. Anyway, that's it for now, Gunners. If you enjoyed the video, please, of course, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new here, and turn on those notifications so you never miss another video like this again. Peace.